Oh my God. You guys all stayed. Hey, cast, we got to do the whole show again. Welcome back. Thank you for, I hope evidently we did something right the first half. Coming up next is not our special guest, but it's a lady that shocked the world when she was doing her performances. Sometimes she went by the name of Billy Beck. She's performing tonight under the name you probably know her better by, which is Sally Rand. Here she is doing her famous fan dance. Miss Sally. Half of that's from the performance. The other half is thank God we didn't get raided by the cops. Next up, we have someone who is influential as both a singer and a composer. He's commonly referred to as the King of Soul. He's going to be accompanied on guitars by the father and son, Harold and Lamont Gridiron. Here to sing one of his greatest hits, A Change Is Gonna Come, Mr. Sam Cooke.
I was born by the river in a little tent, and oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know the change is gonna come. Oh, yes it will. You know, it's been too hard living, and and I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know the change is gonna come. Oh, yes it will. You know, I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody always telling me that I can't hang around. It's been a long time. Well, I know it's been a long time coming, but I know the change is gonna come. Oh, yes it will. You know, I go to my brother. I said, brother, would you help me, please? But he always winds up knocking me back down on my knees. But oh, there's a time that I thought that I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time. Yes, it's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Oh, yes it will. You know, I go to my brother. I said, well, brother, I know that. Would you please help me please? I know, but he just winds up knocking me. I have to go back down on my bending knees, but oh, at the time that I thought that I couldn't last for long, but I'm so glad I know. Now I think I can carry on. It's been a long time coming, I know. But a change is gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Mr. Sam Cooke. Very nice. Next up, we have a trio of ladies who were superstars on the Motown record label. They had 12 #1 hits in their career. They're here to sing a medley of some of those greatest hits. Ladies and gentlemen, the Supremes.
I need love to ease my mind. I need to find someone to call mine. But Mama said you can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. She said love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. Now can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. She's gotta trust, give it time. No matter how long it takes, you can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. She said love don't come easy. It's a game
Next up, we have something special. We've got a group of, we've paired up a couple of performers. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers are coming back, and they are going to perform a dance to Eric Burden of the Animals, singing their hit song, oh, Lordy. House of the Rising Sun. They had to get in place. Thank you. Please welcome Fred and Ginger and Eric. Next up, we have a female vocalist who was the #1 female singer for 6 consecutive years, in the late 50s through the early 60s. She's going to perform her first #1 hit, Who's Sorry Now? Please welcome Connie Francis.
sorry now? Who's sorry now? Whose heart is breaking or breaking each vow? Who's sad and blue? Who's crying too? Just like I cried over you, right to the end, just like a friend. I tried to warn you somehow. You had your way, now you must say, I'm glad that you're sorry now. Right to the end, just like a friend. I tried to warn you somehow. You had your way, now you must say, I'm glad that you're sorry
Catch this, ladies and gentlemen. If you were paying attention in the first act, one of our performers said he would be back later on. Well, he's back. Elvis is back in the house. Thanks for coming back, Elvis.
No problem,
You
man.
look a little different. You try some of that Geritol we had back there?
The paparazzi been in my dressing room again, I see.
Well, all I'm saying is I heard they found an empty bottle of Geritol in there. You have your right to, say your
Well,
piece.
at that first act about wore me out. So, 2 tablets has 7 vitamins and more iron than a pound of calf's liver. And I feel like a completely different person.
So what are you going to sing for us this time?
I don't know. I think I'll do a medley. I'll do a medley of one of my biggest albums. Actually, it was the same size as all the other ones. Sold a bunch more. That's what I meant.
Elvis, I just realized you and I have a few things in common.
You think so, yeah?
Yeah, we're both extremely handsome
Oh,
men.
thank you very much. Yeah, thank
In our own way, we're very dapper dressers. And third, you tell a joke worse than I do. These ladies came to hear you sing.
Okay,
Let 'em
let's
have
see
it.
what we can do.
Elvis Presley.
Let's see what we can do. Thank you very much. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? My river flows into the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too. For I can't help falling in love with you. I can't help falling in love with you. Return to sender. Return to sender. Gave a letter to the postman, turned in his sack. Bright and early next morning, he brought my letters back. Return to sender, address unknown. No such number, no such zone. We had a quarrel, a lover's fight. I write, I'm sorry, but my letter keeps coming back. So then in the mailbox, I sent a special deed. Bright and early next morning, it came right back to me. Return to sender, address unknown. No such person, no such zone. This time I'm going to take it myself and put it right in her hand. And if I come back the very next day, then I'll understand. Return to sender, address unknown. No such number, no such zone. Return to sender, return to sender, return to sender. Wise man said, you ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never come around me, ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was high class, well, that's just a lie. Yes, they said you was high class, well, that's just a lie. Well, you ain't never come around, ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Yeah, you ain't never gonna robbing and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, you ain't never gonna robbing, you ain't no friend of mine.
Coming up next, we have two very special ladies. They're the heart and soul of this production. One's a North High star. The other's a Bakersfield High driller. Having performed in many Bakersfield Music Theater productions and in every one of the Wrinkles productions, Karen DeWalt is making her directorial debut with this year's show. Our choreographer, Gail Sisson-Schweikart, went to UCLA, got a degree in fine arts,
and has choreographed every one of the Wrinkles productions. They're here tonight. They're gonna do a tap dance to Me and My Shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, the dynamic duo, Karen DeWalt, Gail Sisson-Schweikart. By the way, those two are the ones that said I'd be perfect for the no talent Ed Sullivan. May I have the house lights raised again, please? When we raised them earlier in the show, we didn't overlook this person. We purposely wanted to give him his own moment. He needs to be recognized by himself and given all the accolades. I don't have the words. I don't do this for a living, but this man, how he's done what he's done. 50 years ago, he was one of the founding members of the Bakersfield Music Theater. 50 years later, he's still the man that signs the checks. Please, Mr. Jim Philbrandt.
Thank you, Dave.
Or Ed, either one works.
You have to be 55 years or older to be in this show. And I decided there was a point where you can't be in it any longer. And I reached that. I'm really happy to see all of you here. We've had a marvelous, marvelous attendance at Wrinkles. Better than ever before. And I hope that the future is even brighter because we plan to be here for another 50 years, if you know what I mean. I was going to introduce my associate here, Nancy Arslan, but she's already been introduced, and there's no end to that. That would go on forever. I would have been in the show, but Karen would have to add 20 minutes, 10 minutes while I walked out and 10 minutes while I walked back. I went to an orthopedic surgeon and I said, what is it, my balance, the speed of my steps, or the distance of my steps? He said, yes. It's not, my mobility has changed. And you probably know what I'm talking about because I don't see many teenagers in this audience. Anyway, without you, we don't exist. We can't have shows without an audience. Can't have a theater without contributions. And so all I can say that's important is I thank everybody on stage. Karen and her team have done a marvelous job of putting this all together. And you and the people on Friday and Saturday night have done a marvelous job of helping us support all of this. You know, last week I was here to watch our children in the school program do Frozen. And this week, I'm here to see their grandparents do that. So at any rate, thank you all for coming. It's a great tradition. I think it helps Bakersfield be a better place.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Thank you, Jim. Just a little footnote to what Jim has to say. I had the pleasure of, in last year's Wrinkles, being Dick Martin to his Dan Rowan, and I'll always remember that. In addition, in this year's cast, we have 11 new members to the Wrinkles cast this year. Now, somebody that's not here, we were supposed to have Phyllis Diller. And she came down with laryngitis and can't be here. But she sent a text that she said, I got somebody to replace me. She says he's like the fifth cousin. Everybody's heard of Ben Vereen. He's like the fifth cousin, twice removed of Ben Vereen. And he's a comic. He's a Christian comic. So, all right, send him up and we'll let him do 2 jokes. That's all we got time for. So please, I think he's standing over here in the wings. Don, the Christian comedian. Yes, sir.
2 jokes. How many went to church today? Just wave your hand. How many had some type of church today? Just wave your hand. Okay. Great funny that happened to me, and I thought I'd mention this, that I was told about President Bush when he was in office, the last Bush. He went to Egypt. And while he was in Egypt, he was touring around and he saw this guy with a great big beard. And he looked and he looked again and he said, "Hey, Moses!" And the guy didn't answer. He looked. I said, "Hey there, Moses!" And he didn't answer. He did it about 3 more times, and finally, President Bush went out to him and said, "Hey, what's your name?" He says, "Moses." He said, "Well, I called you 2 or 3 times. Why you didn't answer?" He said, "Well, the last time I talked to a bush, it set me back 40 years. Thank you so much. The funniest thing happened to a preacher. I pastored the church about 33 years. And funny thing about a preacher, sometimes he get up on Sunday morning and he has a mellow tone voice. And people can't stand it. And we get facetious sometime, and so this time I got up and I had this mellow tone voice, and I put the deacon to sleep. And I tried to embarrass him by saying, "Hey, deacon," talking to the head deacon, "wake up that man beside you." And the deacon yelled back at me and said, "Hey, Rev, you wake him up. You don't want to put him to sleep." Thank you very much, Ed. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have a male vocal group. They sang pop. They had 11 gold records and 5 Grammy nominations. They're going to sing White Sport Coat and a Pink Carnation. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lettermen.
A white sport coat and a pink carnation. I'm all dressed up for the dance. A white sport coat and a pink carnation. I'm all alone in romance. Once you told me long ago to the prom with me you'd go. Now you changed your mind, it seems. Someone else will hold my dreams. A white sport coat and a pink carnation. I'm in a blue, blue mood.
A white sport coat and a pink carnation.
I'm all dressed up for the dance.
A white sport coat and a pink carnation.
I'm all alone in romance. Once you told me long ago to the prom with me you'd go. Now you changed your mind, it seems. Someone else will hold my dreams. A white sport coat and a pink carnation. I'm in a blue, blue. I'm in a blue, blue. I'm in a blue, blue mood.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lettermen. I almost started to introduce the wrong act. Next up, we have a female singer and actress. She performed in many musical films, has won a Best Supporting Oscar, and she was the widowed mother of 5 kids in the situation comedy The Partridge Family. Here to sing one of her favorite songs, Never Walk Alone. You'll never walk alone. I'll get it right. You'll Never Walk Alone, Miss Shirley Jones.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and a sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on,
Roy Jones. Every year in Wrinkles, we do a special tribute to our armed forces, men and women, past, present, and future. We start tonight's tribute off with a military dance group performing to the song Soldier.
I bury pain under pride, hide my love in a lie. You put it all in the light for me. Don't show my teeth when I smile, hide the ring from their eye. You put it all on the line for me. When the war's over, just my soldier. Whenever the darkness is making me blind, all of my scars I'm not hidden with time. You're pulling me closer, even when I'm not sober. You are the one that is making me right. I know you'll fight by my side like a soldier. When I got you by my side, we can go left or go right. Say it with no harbor inside, but we'll be alright. For you I tell the truth and tell a lie. Peter had a body or cry. I would put it all on the line for you. When the war's over, just my soldier. Whenever the darkness is making me blind, and all of my scars I'm not hidden with time. Pulling me closer, even when I'm not sober. You are the one that is making me right. I know you'll fall by my side.
Next up, we have a special barbershop quartet. They have sang here for the last 3 or 4 productions that I know of Wrinkles. They've changed a little since they were here last year, but they're as good or better than they have been. They're going to perform a medley of patriotic songs for you. Please welcome the Deck of Chords.
Sounds like this is live. Can you hear me okay? All right. Well, this is our last performance for this year. And the song that I'd like to present you with is basically one that's in celebration of the birthday of our country. It was written by Irving Berlin, and a young lady by the name of Kate Smith was who he specifically wrote it for. And she did a radio broadcast in 1939, which I am told was the most listened to broadcast on that particular day. The song became so popular that people wanted to adopt it as our national anthem. Irving Berlin said, I have nothing to do with that, and you're not going to adopt that as a national anthem because I wrote it out of the feelings in my heart, specifically for Kate Smith to sing and to bless our country and acknowledge what we live for. The name of the song is God Bless America. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voice
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, the name of our quartet is Deck of Chords. And if you've ever been around sailors, people that have served in the Navy, you know that this thing I'm standing on is a deck. Well, all four of us happen to be Navy members. To my left is Andy. He put 4 years in. I put in a little over 4 years. Jim over here put in 32 years. And this child on my right-hand side put in 26 years. So this next song that we'd like to sing is going to honor the veterans out there, and we're going to sing what's called the Armed Forces Medley. When we get to the branch of service that you served in, or you even have a relative that served in, we would like you to raise your hand or stand up, whatever you can do, so that we can see you and acknowledge that you were in the service. So here's our presentation of the Armed Forces Medley. Lights? Thank you.
For you.
Yes. And you.
Da 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 da. From the halls of mountains, Marines, to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land or sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the foam, until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy voyage home. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. We're always ready for the call, we place our trust in thee. Through surf and storm and howling gale, I shall our purpose be. Semper Paratus is our guide, our pledge, our motto too. We're always ready, do or die. High Coast Guard, we fight for you. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Wow, look at that! Fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. For it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off your cadence loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, swimming to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar, we live in fame and go down in flame. Oh, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. On guard at every station, protectors of our nation, the great armed forces of America, 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 today,
Hey, the Deck of Chords. Great, thank you very much. Guess what it's time for, folks? Special guest time. Our special guest is a native of Bakersfield, born and raised here. He's a singer, songwriter, and music producer. He's been on many stages during his career, but this will be the third time only that he's been on this stage. Friday night was the first, last night was the second. He's going to sing 2 songs for us. One that he wrote called I Can't Go Back. He thought it was, he wrote it back in the 70s. He can't even remember what year he wrote it in, he said. But he thought it was appropriate for the Wrinkles. And Eddie Money was one of the people that recorded it and made a big hit out of it. And then he's going to sing Hallelujah like nobody else can. When he finishes his 2 songs, then we're going to have the full cast finale. When we get to the chorus part in the finale, we would greatly love for you folks to sing along with us if you'd like. Without further ado, Mr. Monty Byram.
Thank you very much. I remember the first time I did the Carson show, and I did Letterman a couple of times, but I never got to do the Ed Sullivan show. That's pretty cool. That's my bucket list. Yeah, this is a song I wrote back in 19 Baba Booey. It's called I Want to Go Back. I listening to the radio, I heard a song reminded me of long ago. Back then I thought that things were never gonna change. It used to be that I never had to feel the pain. Well, I know now that things will never be the same. I wanna go back and do it all over, but I can't go back. I know I wanna go back, 'cause I'm feeling so much older, but I can't go back. I know. I recall hanging out on Friday night, my first slow dance, hoping that I'd get it right. Back then I thought I would never ever stand alone. It used to be that a lonely heart was never shown. Well, I know now that things will never be the same. I wanna go back, do it all over, but I can't go back. I know I wanna go back, 'cause I'm feeling so much older, but I can't go back. I know I wanna go back, hey, do it all over. Can't go back, I know I wanna go back, 'cause I'm feeling so much older. You can't go back, you can't go back, you can't go back. Thank you so much. I do believe this is the earliest I've ever sung. the perfect song for a Sunday. They say there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to your kitchen chair, and she broke your throne, and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. You know I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. There was a time when you let me know what's really going on below. But now you never show that to me, do you? Remember when I moved in you and the holy dove was moving too, and every breath you drew was hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above. All I've ever learned from love is how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. It's not a cry that you hear at night, and it's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Thanks for having me.
Sullivan Show.
Is that worth sticking around for, folks? As I said, give us a couple of minutes to get ready, but or not even a couple of minutes, just about 30 seconds. I want to just say what an appreciative audience you've been today, as well as the ones the last two nights. It's been an honor to be the host of this show. Hope you enjoyed it. When during the chorus or the finale, please feel free to sing along with us. We'd appreciate it.
Oh, beautiful, our heroes prove in liberating strife, who molding down their country love and mercy more and life, America, America, the one to all success, be noblest, and every divine. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plain. I know America, yes, America. I know, oh, yes, you know what you cry. Oh, you're a brotherhood. From seekers to shine. Yes, I know America. Somebody say America. I know the Lord said, oh, yes, somebody said, listen and cry. All over the world, oh, yes, you see to shine. Oh,
I know,